In good times and in tough times, there's one thing we can all agree. And it's simple. Becoming is better
Than being.
And that is precisely why we consider ourselves to be a work in progress. It means that you are never complete and always have that opportunity to become someone better.
Indeed, as GK has so eloquently reminded us, in good times and in the bad, being a work in progress allows you the ability, the opportunity to be comfortable with making mistakes and accepting yourself for who you are.
So inner English teacher in you there, that was very good.
And that's why, guys, we are a work in progress. Hi, I'm Anna.
I'm AX.
And I am your host, none other than GK. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So, guys, because we're in this season, this election season, we decided our heads are stressed. So, instead of being too stressed and talking serious things, we're going to have a couple of few fun episodes over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So, today we're going to start with a question. But before we get into all of that, let's start with our icebreaker, done by one of our own, a new one on board. I don't know what to call her yet, so I'm just going to call her, okay?
Ladies and gentlemen,
her. So, but before we get into it, the game is very simple. She's given us a list of names here inside this box. We're going to read the name on the paper, and then the person who, for example, Anna, you ask me questions, you guys will ask me questions, and whoever gets the name from those questions answer wins that point.
Okay, so it's like 20 questions.
You know what? Sure. I don't know
never
what
played
21 questions is. I've heard of 21 questions.
Yeah.
Never heard of
21
20.
questions, sorry.
Oh, there you go. 50 cent. Okay. So,
I'm
first and foremost, I must open this paper, which is proving a challenge. So I'm going to open another piece of paper. How about, this is also proving a challenge. How?
Okay, should I
there
just
we go.
start?
I got it. Whew. Okay, there we go. So, okay, ask me your first question.
Male or female?
Can be both.
What?
Is it an animal?
Yes.
Is it a mammal?
Yes.
Okay, you took time to think of that. So it's not your ordinary mammal.
So it's not like a lion or like an elephant or
Is it
something.
like a dolphin?
No.
Is it a duck?
You're out because you've asked what it is, so no.
Wait, what?
Keep asking questions.
What?
Oh, so I got it. Okay, I get it.
Yes,
now.
you
I get it
can't
now.
guess
Okay.
unless
Now
you're
can I
sure.
see it?
Yeah. Is a mammal a duck? Is a duck a mammal?
I don't think so. I'm not entirely
Is it on
sure.
land?
Yes.
There's so many mammals. Is it a cat?
No.
A cat? Yeah, cat's on land.
No.
Dog?
Are you
Is it
saying
a
the
dog?
dog family?
Hey,
Like, is it a dog? Or
is it a sausage dog?
Unfortunately, I want to say both of you have failed this question.
Unfortunately,
It's not a dog, not a cat. It is a giraffe. It's a giraffe,
Oh,
guys.
okay.
Very simple.
I was gonna go there next though.
Sure thing. Okay. AX, you next.
Okay.
Take a paper.
I'm just gonna
Oh, okay.
sit this way. I'm actually gonna do it this way because I realize you can read it from.
We're not gonna.
Okay, go on.
Is it a person?
Yes.
Woman?
Yes.
African?
No.
American?
Yes.
Okay. White?
No.
Just ask the other question.
Black.
Yes.
I mean,
No, I mean the person could be Latino. You never know, or
okay.
Latina.
is she in politics?
No.
Inspirational?
Yes.
Is she Oprah?
Yes.
No, I gave that to you. Come on. That's unfair. Okay, Anna, take
Can you
one.
sit this way?
Okay. Oh, Anna, that's
Sorry,
cheating.
GK. It's teamwork.
It's called teamwork.
Okay,
You
fine.
laid her up.
Yeah.
She
Oh,
she
she's
shot
a
the
good one.
three-pointer.
We got the
Okay,
points.
guys, go ahead.
Is it human?
Yes.
Okay.
Man or woman?
You have to ask, is it man?
Okay. Is it a man?
Yes.
African?
Yes.
Finally, we're in my wheelhouse. Okay, next question.
Is he Kenyan?
Yes.
Is he alive?
Yes.
Is he a politician?
No.
Oh.
He's not a politician.
I
That's
really
the
thought you were
Which
going.
other Kenyan men
Is
do
he
I
a
know?
musician?
No.
A sports person?
No. Can I give a hint?
You've asked
were
too many questions. I haven't
closer
I'm sorry,
to
I'm the one
politician.
Is he a
Closely
journalist?
No.
closely related to
Okay,
politician.
that takes that one out.
So not a politician, not a musician, not a journalist, not a sports person. I feel like we're running out of...
Is he a political scientist?
Yes.
Is it? Okay, fine. You take it.
Mutahi Gunyi.
It is.
Yeah, you
There you go.
Mutahi.
Where were we going? Okay.
What?
Next question.
I think we have time for one more each.
Yeah,
Okay.
we got time. This is fun. Okay. Ask your questions.
Is it a person?
Yeah.
Why aren't you sure?
Yeah. Is it a woman?
No.
Is he African?
No.
You are the worst.
Is he black?
Oh my God, you are the worst.
No.
You are not helpful.
Is it a yes and no? I was
That
thinking
was a
someone
stupid
mixed.
question.
Okay, so you don't know if the person is white or black. You don't know if they're African. So they might be African and they might be black. Are they from Kenya?
That one I'm 100% sure no.
Are they in entertainment?
No.
Are they in politics, like a leader or something?
Sure.
You're not helping at all.
Let me give you guys a clue.
Yes.
Think long ago. There you go. So not think long ago.
He's not in leadership,
I said he is in.
Oh, he
leadership.
is?
Yeah.
but from way back.
Kinda, sort of. Yes.
Is he like in religion?
Yes.
Okay, he's
Is it no?
Say it.
No, because if it was that person, then you would have said that person is a man.
You didn't. When you asked, I said it's a man.
Oh, is it Jesus?
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Oh, okay.
So you're asking me, is he African? I'm like, kinda, sorta.
I see.
Everything, kinda, sorta. Okay, next one.
The answer was yes, he's black.
He's black.
Okay, go.
Man.
No.
Woman.
Yes.
African.
Yes.
Kenyan?
Yes.
Politician.
No.
Okay, that removes what I was thinking about.
In entertainment.
Yes, kind of.
Are they a fifth estate personality?
Yes.
Okay. We have so many fifth estate personalities. It's your question time.
Has she been on whip?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Is she sitting on whip right now?
Yes.
Okay, that leaves two people.
Is it me?
Yes.
See? Woof. Look. Okay. Anna, take it.
It's because the stickiness is on the stickiness.
Yes, that's the
Well.
problem.
Okay, go.
Is it a man?
Yes.
Are they from Africa?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Are they black?
No.
Oh dear.
Are they from America?
No.
Are they white?
Yes.
But not from America. Are they from Europe?
Yes.
This is the only other alternative.
Hey,
if
they
they're
could have
white.
been from Latin America. There are white Latin people too.
Okay.
True that.
Okay. Does he need a toupee?
It's a very specific. Who do you have in mind?
Oh, I know you have in mind. No.
Okay.
Well, I don't think so, no.
Is he young or old? Is he young?
Maybe mid. He's not old, he's not young.
And is European and white?
Can I give a hint?
Uh-huh.
It's fictional. He's a fictional character.
Okay.
Is it Harry
He's
Potter?
got glasses.
No.
Okay, so he doesn't have glasses?
No. No.
But it's not Harry Potter.
It's not Harry Potter.
Is it
Okay.
Dumbledore?
No.
Is it from the Harry Potter movies?
But fictional character.
Oh, okay. Is it, did Robert Downey Jr. act as him in a movie?
Yes.
Sherlock Holmes.
Yes.
Okay.
There we go.
I think
I am great at this game. I think the last two here we're definitely going to play at the end of this game because that is fun. Okay.
Thank you, her.
Thank you.
Thank you, her. So let's move on to our discussion for the day, which is regarding a topic we've touched on sometimes in the past, but a topic that continues to evolve and one we should continue to have conversations about. And it's about punishment in schools and what that punishment should look like. So before we delve into it, I'll allow AX to tell us why she wanted us to talk about this topic, and then we'll get into it.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure none of us remember or rather all of us remember how much it sucked to come home with grades and then your parents are like, it's not good enough. Now, most of us weren't beaten to within an inch of our lives.
Sorry, wait, I'm just going to pause you right there.
Yeah.
I never came home with grades that teachers were like, it's not good, and parents were like, it's not good enough. I always passed. Thank you very much.
You set such a low bar for yourself. You don't want you to pass, you want you to excel.
Oh, I excelled. There we go.
God, oh my word. Okay. So this person's name, the student's name, is a name by the person called Bravin or Chido. He was a class 8 pupil from Vihiga County, and he was captured on video for being punished severely for not scoring 400 out of 500 marks at his school. In the video, visible marks of the strokes that were lashed against him could be seen. Like it was definitely very traumatizing.
It was lashed his skin off.
It was very, very bad. So now I want us to have a conversation about I guess, why does it work? What, how, when, where? Is it ever appropriate? Why don't you kick us off, Mr. Host?
So contrary to public opinion, I went to schools that were not necessarily always group of schools. So those schools that I went to did have some form of punishment, especially from class 1 to class 8. Then from class, just before I did my TCPs, I chose to change to another system for the benefit of my own self. So we were beaten in school by our teachers, and it was normal. In fact, this is not going to sound very good, and I'm sure other guys agree with me. It was a mode of, it was like a badge of honor you wore that you were beaten. Okay. If you get what you go. It was a badge of honor. We used to have a teacher who used to name...
The bad boy badge.
Yes, the bad boy badge. Yes, and you know, I'm such a bad guy. So, we used to go to our teacher, and we had a teacher called Mr. I can't remember his name. I won't say his name. He used to beat us, and we used to have names for his beatings.
Okay.
So, for example, if you've watched wrestling, I wish Christian was here right now. There's a wrestling move called the pedigree. And yes, so he'd use the blackboard marker, and he'd use the pedigree wrestling move on us and
that seems so
beat us.
inappropriate. Just if you know what the pedigree looks like.
Yeah, it was...
they were allowed to?
Well, I don't think the principal was there watching
no,
what exactly
but like
he was doing.
The pedigree is a very compromised, as Anna said, the pedigree is a very compromising position.
It used to be funny because you just take like your sweater, put it where you're going to be beaten, and then he hits the sweater, or you put books thinking you're not going to get caught. For us, it was like excitement. It was like, yeah, we're getting beaten. There used to be one called the hotline, where you get hit with like a stick on your hand.
And then there's the other one where you
get
the
like chapati.
And there's one where like you take the pencil, you weave it in between your fingers, and then the ruler.
And for the most part, I didn't necessarily have a problem with teachers beating me. I think for the most part, I understood where they were going for. Maybe it was not the right methodology, but I understood what the plan was. They saw that they needed to instill some sort of discipline, because apparently discipline is very important. They used to instill some sort of discipline in us. And when you're dealing with 30, and I was in an all-boys school, 30 boys, all rowdy, all noisy, all never listening. In fact, if you didn't beat us, we kind of disrespected you to an extent, if you get what I mean. The teachers who didn't beat us, unless they were ladies we always respected. But the teachers who didn't beat us and they were men, we kind of walked all over them. And so we took advantage of their niceness.
Interesting.
Because children inherently, I love you guys, but children inherently, before they become adults, are a bit... what's the word?
Okay, I was going to say, I feel like the word you're trying to say, but not really going to say because you can't say it with your chest. It's manipulative.
There we go. And so I didn't have a problem, but when I read this, I did have a problem. Because, number one, it should never hit that extent. Number two, that I didn't mind getting beaten doesn't mean it necessarily solved the problem. It doesn't, and especially for children of this age. Gen Zs are not like millennials, are not like Gen Xs. They need to hear reason. They need to know the why. And the why can't be because you didn't get 400 marks.
Or because I said so.
Or because I said so. You can't punish a child anymore that way. You have to reason with them. And you may realize how impactful it would be to actually sit and have a conversation with someone and tell them you didn't meet your targets. This is potentially why. If they fail to inform their parents, and if their parents decide to beat the child, the parents have the obligation to beat them.
Obligation or right?
The right, there we go. They have the right to do so if they please. But it shouldn't be on the parent, the teacher, to beat this person to a pulp. It should not. That is my opinion. And I have another one, but I'll allow you guys so that you don't say I've stolen all your ideas. So, Anna.
Oh, okay. Like I saw that video of like the scars, and I was like, that's abuse. And the kid was crying, and what also bugged me more was the comments section where everyone's like, beat him, he's faking it because he's trying to put a bad name for the teacher. I'm like, you can't fake those scars. That was such a bad extent, and apparently the mother said this is not the first time that's happened to her son. Apparently she claims that there was a previous time where he was stripped naked and beaten in front of everyone.
Oh, that's abuse. So that's abuse.
Like, that's such like, that's physical and sexual abuse to me. How a teacher is allowed to get to such an extent. I was like, okay, why? For me, I feel like teachers do this because you failed your job. You couldn't get your student to get the marks you expected. Instead of questioning your teaching methods, you beat. And what's this? What the saying is, what? I'll knock the senses out of you. So why on earth would you think you'll knock a kid and they're going to get smarter? Like
they're moving the senses, not bringing them. But let me ask you a question. In support of teachers around the world, do you think it maybe was an issue of pumped up energy?
In the kid or in the teacher?
In the teacher. Not energy, but frustration. Because teachers, for the longest part, have goals and aspirations. You know, many times, parents that beat you actually believe they're doing the right, like they're pushing you to be better. And he thinks, I'm pushing you to be better. And he's seen all these children fail him and all these things, and he has no other way, an outlet, that maybe he's just beat the kid beyond what should be. He's frustrated. So should we blame him, or should we blame a system and an entire area of teaching in which we're getting to the point of frustrating our teachers to the point, and maybe their training is not allowing for them to actually take a step back and treat it more logically, more rationally.
That's actually the point I wanted to bring up. Because I was reading a lot of studies that were trying to explain why corporal punishment still exists in schools. And the big finding that they found, was that was that in resource-poor schools, a teacher was more likely to beat a student than in resource-rich schools, which is why you will very rarely ever hear about a child being beaten in a private school. Like if it's happening, it's a bad thing. Like it's completely abnormal activity. And I do think that it is a matter of training. It is, number one, failing to understand that when a kid is failing in school, it is not because it is more to do with learning issues and learning disabilities than it is to do with and comprehension. It is to do with anything else. So beating the kid is not going to help them understand better. Sitting with them, going through the subject matter, identifying problem areas, and figuring out a plan of action. That is what's going to help.
And speaking from experience, not my own experience, because you heard about my academic prowess.
The bad boy.
One of the things that happens is that school systems don't necessarily get the best out of everyone. I think there's already a problem with school systems in which people who you know were very smart in school maybe didn't go as far as they wished in life. And people who you knew were D students, E students. I remember we even did a fifth about it, the D and the E students. Actually are the ones leading industries because the school system did not build what was best for that person. And so sometimes people fail. Sometimes children are going to fail schools. It's going to happen. And it's not always, it's not a problem with the child, it's a problem with the system.
Yes. There's actually something that, as you were speaking, a point just occurred to me. So in beating this kid for not getting the marks that they were quote unquote supposed to get, you are sending a message that to fail is a bad thing. As opposed to fail is just it's just a blip. What matters is not that you fail, it's how you pick yourself back up. And right now you're punishing the failure, not punishing the failure to pick yourself back up.
And you're not teaching the person, okay, you failed here, how can you now do better next time? Because what is a spanking or a caning doing? And like, okay, so I was looking at corporal punishment in general. And there've been, thousands of studies that have happened over the years, but one even came out last year. And, so they've really found that children who grew up being beaten, being spanked, all kinds of things, already tend to have mental health issues growing up. So they tend to face anxiety, depression. But what they've actually found now is that children who grew up being, let's say, something as simple as a spanking, it rewires their brain. So remember, children's brains are still developing, right?
Yeah.
So when you're being beaten, it rewires their brain that they're finding the brain responses in children who have been beaten as kids have the same brain responses as people who have suffered sexual abuse. So the way they perceive threats and the way they look at emotions is similar to people who have undergone like all kinds of maltreatment.
Wow.
God.
So think about how you're going to affect this kid today
With your actions.
With your actions.
It's more,
Your actions
yeah,
today, how it'll affect them in the
Yeah,
future.
because there's clearly psychological issues and
You
major
know,
ones that are coming up.
When you said that, have you heard, okay, this is a word I've created just now, but have you heard of the bully flinch?
Yes,
If someone has been bullied a lot or beaten a lot, someone stands next to them, you just naturally
flinch.
Yeah.
you flinch because you've become very used to a system, conditioned to a system that is always gonna pound down on you.
Yeah.
But also there are other different kind of punishments. Were you guys made to do the duck walk?
the duck walk.
You squat, hands through your legs, and then you hold your
Oh,
ears.
yeah.
I hope you realize that
walk.
was like I think it was a technique used on like prisoners of war.
It was used on us. So there's the duck walk. Schools,
squatting
Kenyan
and going
schools,
lower and
yeah,
lower for
going
like
lower,
a whole class.
or going to a field and counting the grass in a specific area. There are places where they used to cut up magazines, and then you have to stick the national anthem. Using those cut up pieces. So there are other forms of punishment. I don't know if those are also useful, but those are other forms of punishment that
Can we also
don't
discuss
require beating.
No, the form of punishment that I like the best, and something that you referenced in the very beginning, is sitting down and talking with the kid. No,
doesn't
it
always
works.
work.
No,
It doesn't
it
always
works.
work.
It works more often than what is the corporal punishment. Because corporal punishment, all it teaches you, and studies have shown this. All it teaches you is not to misbehave in front of the person that's beating you.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is it.
Sweep it under the rug.
That is it.
Hide it.
Like you miss. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, you're not understanding the consequences. So let's say it's not grades. Let's say you're beaten for bullying another kid.
Yeah.
So what are you learning? Because you need to sit down and explain to them, this is how your actions impact other people. Give them a chance to reason so that also in the future they learn. So that, because in the future, who's going to be beating
See,
them?
you see, there I agree, because, for example, you get beaten, you're avoiding getting beaten. You're not doing an action because you don't want to get beaten. You're not doing it because it is wrong.
Yes.
And it happens all the time. If you want someone to lose weight and you keep telling them, you've too heavy-handed on that fork, it's not going to have the same effect than actually trying to make the person understand maybe the health benefits
reasons,
and the
yeah.
health risks that come with overweight.
Hence why I'm saying you need to sit down and talk to your. If you have
But it
kids,
doesn't always work.
okay.
You have worked with younger people
Yes,
before?
I have.
Okay. Have you sat them down, told them, okay, this is how your stuff is affecting, and had a 3-hour conversation? Then next week
They do the same thing.
They do the same thing
Yes, they're
10 times
kids.
worse.
They're kids. Of course, they're going to make mistakes. You just need to be patient with them.
You have to still instill
No.
punishment.
You're instilling fear.
Yeah, and
A little
listen,
bit.
studies have
No.
also shown
Listen
that
to
children will,
Machiavelli.
once they're beaten, will, after minutes, hours, days, will go back to that behavior.
Even talking to
So-
them, they'll still go back to that.
No.
But
behavior.
by the way, so for example, there are things like let's say if it's a younger child, attention from your parent is important, right? You're their idols. Ignoring them when they're about to do something is so much better than giving them that bad attention, because it's attention, and so they'll still crave it.
Yeah.
So rather than giving them some form of attention, you ignore them and let them be like, okay, this action didn't get any
response I
attention.
wanted.
Yeah, so they leave it alone. There's
And-
so many ways.
And also, the reason why I prefer having those conversations is because you're going to build up citizens that understand the laws exist not to stop me from doing something, they have a purpose.
Yes.
Because right now in my mind, the reason why I don't do certain things, not only because I don't want to, but also because it's illegal and I get punished. I don't care that my mind isn't thinking, is it right, is it wrong, does it align with my personal values, does it align with my morality? It's just I will get punished, right? And I don't want that. I want citizens who have the critical thinking skills to know this law has a purpose, this law is serving a particular purpose, and that's why I want to follow it. That's why I want to live my life by it.
The other day I was talking to, and this is another point to put in, my last remark before we have to conclude the show.
Yes,
and then the rest of you can give your last remarks, is I was talking to someone I respect very highly in my family, and he told me that he has a problem with boarding schools.
Yes.
And this is a problem I realized a lot more often everywhere else. And if the issue is we're depending too much, we're putting too much pressure on teachers
to be the parents.
In the lives of our children.
Yeah.
And so these teachers feel that responsibility.
Oh my God.
But they also have the PTSD of handling 30 kids.
So many kids.
Getting calls about how, okay, this child can't come because I can't afford, the parent has messed up. Getting things like that. So for me, another thing we have to look at beyond this punishment, it's a question that AX actually asked when she was talking to us earlier. It's like, who gets to inflict the punishment? And some of this ownership should be the parent. And for the longest part, and that's why I like CBC, because the memes of CBC were making me happy. Parents had to learn that you...
For the first time,
they had to go,
your children.
they had to go find a cuckoo ginger, they had to create a function out of things. You involve yourself with the children, because for the longest time, parenting was left to teachers. And so everyone would be like, my greatest mentor was this teacher.
This teacher.
But no, your greatest mentor sometimes should be your parent. And your parent should not abscond their duties to the teacher.
Yeah, true.
That's my final remark. I'll give you each like 30 seconds to say something, then we'll close the show.
Okay, my final remarks is... It's twofold. Number one, never discipline in anger, because then it becomes punishment, right? If you feel like, and this doesn't just apply to children, it also applies to your relationships with other people. Don't like if somebody has done something that's really frustrated you, don't approach them in that moment of frustration or anger. Take 30 minutes, take some time to calm down, figure out what it is that they've done that has really affected you and why it has affected you, and then come back with that feedback. And in that interaction, yes, it'll be frustrating. Yes, they will try to goad a response out of you. Maybe they will. Sometimes they may not be responsive. But please, just try to keep your head, because then it becomes punishment and bordering on abuse and not discipline. That's number one. Number two, please talk to your kids. I beg of you, please. They love you, they miss you. I beg, please.
There you go.
Talk to your kids.
Anna.
Okay, really simply, please remember, punishment does not equal discipline, and threats does not equal warnings.
Hallelujah.
So I'll end with that.
Okay, fantastic. So that is where we're going to conclude for you today's work in progress. Thank you so much for watching the show. Keep it fifth estate during these times, and we will be here with you as we always are next week.